So what's up, y'all? I definitely I ain't even plan on doing this, but since I saw it on the Breakfast Club, I figured I might as well drop in, put in my 2 cents also. And yeah, I think the lady, I think her name was Tez, she getting the donkey of the day, probably of the month. Because, check it out, to be honest with you, I didn't even know who Vivek was, like before this. And at this point, he damn near has my vote right now. So I wanted to hear more about what he was about, hear about his vision, where he's going, what he plans on doing, and it sounded like he has some good stuff going. But they allowed this lady to basically represent our community in the worst light she could have ever done. I mean, because you got to think about it. These political leaders, when they come in, when they stop, like the Breakfast Club is like definitely one of the stops where you get a lot of political leaders coming in. If you remember when Biden was being voted in the president, our huge mistake. But anyway, when he was being voted in, that's one of the spots where Kamala, she stopped there. A lot of people stopped there during their campaigns. And the reason why is because that's one of the top spots where they know most of the urban audience, black and brown people, that's where we listen. And we pay attention to what's going on. And so to have this lady get on there and just word vomit the whole time, not listening to him, he didn't have to take the time out to even stop through. He stopped through because this is an important place to stop at the Breakfast Club. And all these politicians already know it. So you got to think about the fact that, if a politician is running for president, he's in third behind Biden and somebody else. I don't know who else. He wants to stop through. He wants to at least speak his vision and his ideas to the black community. And the way, if she's a representative, man, we just got burnt. I'll put it like that, because the way he was treated while he was there was like he was less than nothing. Like, you have to really think about it. He's running for president. You were Air Force Reserve or something like that. And, from somebody on the outside looking in, this made the black community look very weak. And it made us look like it's not even a good use of my time to stop by there, because they don't listen anyway. All they're going to do is berate you. The men clearly can't handle the women. I mean, we already knew that about their community. She made it very obvious. And it's all based on how she felt. She's comparing a man that made 5 different medications that saves lives to what she did when she was in 6th grade, getting papers taken back. And I went and talked to the principal. Those two ain't even a comparison. It's like comparing a Huffy bike to a Benz or something. Like, we're not even talking the same league. But she decided, nah, that's what I want to do. I'm going to cut you off when you're talking. I'm going to ask you a question. If you answer it, I'm going to say that's not what I was talking about anyway. And I don't like that answer. Give me another answer. And then I'm going to give you a terrible example, which is actually better than what you just said, to a multimillionaire. It's like, is this really where we're at? I mean, obviously so. I don't even know why I'm asking. That's obviously where we're at. And shame on DJ Envy and Charlamagne for not speaking up enough. I mean, it's your show. You should check that right then. Like, no. Stop. That's not how this is going to go. This is my show. We're going to hear this man out. He took the time to come down and speak to our community. We know what type of platform we have, so we're going to take the time and let him talk. Hear what he has to say. Don't be disrespectful to our guests. But I can guarantee you, if that's how you treat guests in your house, and nobody else coming over, everybody saw this, especially all the politicians. They saw this. And so I'm straight up and down. She's getting donkey of the day, donkey of the month, whatever. Like, I really don't care. Like, that was a terrible representation. Don't ever have someone like that trying to speak for the black community. We understand our ancestors built this country, but I did want to hear his perspective. What is it like to, to be someone whose family came in from another country, had to pass these exams to be considered a citizen? And the hypocritical part about it is they have to pass exams to be a citizen that most of us don't even know the answers to. And, he was talking about having people do service and things of that nature. And so she wanted to question his service skills. I would think, out of common sense, if I drop 5 medications that saves lives, that's service. That's service play. I understand you were in the Air Force and whatnot. And I'll be honest, when it comes to the military, and no, I didn't go, so you don't have to research anything. I chose otherwise, and my timing was right. I knew a war was coming in because it happens every so many years, but that's beside the point. Air Force is generally the last group to come in. You got Marines, Army, Navy. Air Force, last ones to come in, and they're usually flying over. You don't have a bunch of military troopers and stuff like that. And so with her, from what I hear, she's in the reserve. You never going frontline. What are you talking about? Like, it had to be World War III or IV for you to go frontline. But, just back to the point of, if this is our representatives, if this is somebody that's trying to speak for the black community, don't speak for me. Just shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. We have a politician. We were stupid enough to let Biden talk. You heard what he said. You ain't black. You don't vote for me. Even though I put all y'all daddies in jail and I ain't reversing nothing, and I'm proud of it. Oh yeah, and I called y'all N-words while I was in the Senate, and I didn't want my kids going to school with y'all because y'all basically make up the jungle. But we listened to that. But you couldn't listen to a man that had a new vision for America as a whole and trying to bring everybody together in a community. I'm gonna tell you what it is. This is what I think. She hate black men anyway. Yeah, I said it. I sure did. She saw somebody that kind of looks like her. He ain't, not fully. He don't have all his melanin, but he's darker than a lot of us. And she didn't want to hear nothing he had to say. Showed him the utmost disrespect. But I'm willing to bet she'd have a different tune if it was, I don't know, a white politician that sat down. I bet you she wouldn't be that disrespectful. But regardless, I always say we have to do better. Always have to do better. Like, as men, we have to garner more control than this. Like, that's a terrible representation for the black community, period. And that's a bad representation for any community. We can't have a solid United States of America when half of us are still holding out. Like, that's not going to work. So, definitely give me your thoughts, your opinions. Always drop your comments. Love to hear them. Love to read them and respond to any of them that I can. And, hey, I get at y'all. Till next time.